you what. How big a plonker did I make of myself last night, right? I was round my house, right, and you know they all come round, all the famous ones, the stars, whenever they're over, they come in. And who walked in, right? But Alec Baldwin came in, right? Alec Baldwin came in, and I said, hello, Mike. He went, what? I said, you're Mike Baldwin. And he said, no, I'm Alec Baldwin. And then, right, about an hour later, right, Dennis Quaid came round. And I said, are you Randy? And he said, no, I'm Dennis. I said, that's a shame, because I've got the Spice Girls coming and I can't handle them on my own. You know what I mean? Here you go, have a laugh. And he didn't know who the Spice Girls were when he walked out of the hump, but they're like that. They're a bit stuck up, the Americans. Oh, yeah, look, come here. I've got some fantastic stuff I saw in the shop today. Now, a lot of people say, oh, you shouldn't wear that. It's the kind of thing girls do. But I think, no. 1997, if you're a man, there's no reason at all why you shouldn't wear a little bit of lip protector. Really, I fully approve of it. And you get it like that, and you take it and you rub it on it and protect them, right? But say you got a mate, right? Like my mate, Stagger Lee Langton, who talks too much. Just slip that in his pocket, right? A little bit of glue stick. He'll whip that on her like that. Yeah, it works a treat. Oh, the other thing, right, this is a bit strange. This is something I found. I went to Wales. I go down there about once a month. I take a little parcel and I leave it. But you know, what they do down there, they got these pigeons, right? And the pigeons, right, they live up in the valleys where it's all grass, and they drink the grass, and it turns their feathers and that green. And what they do is they kill them, right, and they boil them, and then they mash them up into little, like little peas, and that's what they eat, look. Green pigeon peas. Obviously a delicacy in the valleys. And, oh, this is the other thing that I've got here. This is for if, say, someone comes round on their own. Say, Peter Cook comes round, right, when he was alive. Fine. But what about if you come round with Dudley Moore? Then you got a problem, haven't you? You see what I mean? What if Milliken comes round? That's right, but if he brings Nesbitt with him, right? You see what I mean? You see the problem? Well, that's no trouble, because what I'll give them then is I'll give them this string here. Look. Duos, you see? So if Andrew Ridgeley comes round, George Michael, I've got something for them. And it's only 40 calories a serving. But it don't matter, because if you put 10 of them in a cup, you get a good drink. What's she been moving stuff? Oh, right, I've got a little trick that I'll play, really. I shouldn't, it's a bit wicked. But sometimes Sting comes round my house, right, or Prince comes round, and they're very diminutive, or Ronnie Corbett will come round, and I always say, when Prince says, Ma, because that's how he talks, Ma, can I use your toilet? I always go, yeah, here, Prince, look. I've got a special one for you, look. And that's how well the joke goes down with Prince, basically. And then he always goes, and by the way, don't call me Prince, call me... Because that's his name now, that little squiggle mark. Oh, here's me in my film. You've probably seen me in that film, one of the highest-selling films ever. Look, that's me in Saturday Night Fever. Fantastic, fantastic. And here's... this is a place, this is a book that I've written about this place, Black Forest Clinic. And it's where I had to go to stop me from eating so many cakes. As it happens, you're lucky to find me in, because normally this time of night, obviously, I'll be out and about. I was up the right bollock last night. I was really drunk, right? Really, really drunk. I was out from a few of the lads from Freeze, having a band with no E on the end, right? And I needed a bit more money, so I went a hole in the wall, right? I put my card in, and then nothing happened, and it's in here somewhere. I can't... I'll be quite honest with you, I don't think this is affiliated to any of the high street banks, to be honest. Very stupid, because, you know, lost my card now. Never mind. Here's another one of them television programmes that I think, quite rightly famous for making. This is another one of the ones where I go out with the police, and on this occasion, I went out with the Vice Squad, all right? They don't go around garden sheds and nicking vices that are unsafe, no. It's prostitutes, it's street crawlers, curb crawlers, and people... Not street crawlers, people don't crawl up the street, that'd be stupid. You'd want the drunk squad for them, not the Vice. But this is a film about them, and it was when Gerard Depardieu, you know Gerard Depardieu, the actor, French actor, Gerard Depardieu. Well, he was over here. I think he was working, going to be playing a part in the movie as a Vice Cop. So he went over and spent some time with the Vice Cops in London, and he's in this with me.
Later into the night, the streets of Mayfair come alive. It's not long before the team come across a little business negotiation.
Ah, les punters!
Le punter! He's banged a prostitute! Fantastic, man.
Stop.
It's important to assess exactly when to pounce. Too soon and there's not enough evidence. Too late and the...
Just say also, this girl's really got the hang of the advertising game, hasn't she? Pedestrians. People might not know where to go. That's...
Suspects could disappear into the night.
I'll go for him.
Right, Gerald's going to go and nick the... Well, one of them's going to nick the girl, and Gerald's going to talk to the bloke.
You silly getting caught doing it, weren't you? Evening, sir. I'm, PC Staley.
Oh, yeah?
Debbie! You all right? From the 8 Area Street Offences Squad. OK? Charing Cross Police Station. You understand that? Police officer, yeah?
Yeah.
Just like to have a chat with you about what's just happened down there with that girl.
OK.
All right.
OK, I've given the matter some careful consideration and I'll agree to talk to you, although I don't know what you could possibly want with me.
You were talking to that girl just down there on the corner a moment ago.
Yeah.
She approached you. Can you tell me what happened? What was said?
Well, I really don't want to get her into trouble.
I really don't want to get into trouble. No, I don't think you quite understand the situation, sir. She's hardly in any trouble at all, really. You, on the other hand...
No, but you did discuss a price for sexual services with her. Does your wife know you're here?
I don't know, Gerard. What do you think? Does your wife know you? And he's probably got his pen poised because I'll wait for you to answer before I write down... Does your wife know you're here?
I shouldn't think so.
No? What would you say?
I'm in London.
She knows I'm in London. Does your wife know you're picking up... No, she knows I'm in London, so... Sure she can put 2 and 2 together.
What would she say if she knew you were in a red light area and you'd been talking to a prostitute?
Now you're just being sarcastic, aren't you? Oh, perhaps she'd say, well, you really, darling? Oh, how lovely for you. Have another cup of tea and a happy face.
And you'd discussed how much her fee was for sex?
Well, I promise you, officer, that I was not contemplating paying for sex. I'm not even sure whether that's an offence or not, but I'm...
Oh, so you were going to give one and then run off without giving her the money, were you? Oh, now we see.
Didn't even come to...
Well, let me tell you what is an offence, OK? What is an offence is soliciting a female for the purpose of prostitution, all right? I'm perfectly willing, if you are agreeable, to verbally warn you for this offence. Do you understand that?
I think so, yeah.
Just don't chat to strange ladies in the middle of the night.
OK?
There you go. So he's got off with it. He's been there. He's obviously done a little bit of business, whatever. And Gerald, I think, quite fairly, has said, look, this is a verbal warning. That's it. Just be a little bit more careful in future, all right? Go on, cocker. On your way. Go on, sweet.
All right.
The police will send a letter to the man's home address.
Oh! Every single morning for the rest of his life, that man has got to be up at 6. Couldn't sleep again this morning, darling. No, no. But I find leaning here against the front door helps me. Bless his little heart. Or he could buy another flat and have the mail from his home address redirected to the other flat and go around there every day and pick it up. But I can assure him that's a very expensive way of doing it. Sorry, just I want to. That's that. There's another programme that I made. Right, I'm very interested in the supernatural. Oh yes, oh yes, the creepy crawly and the wigglies and the ghoulies fascinate me. And this is a programme I made about a place which lays claim to, quite rightly, I think, to be the most haunted place in these islands. It's the ancient Ram Inn.
Here we are, ready to find out more, to spend the night here, and to see if anything strange happens. But first, let's remember more about this place. Let's remember and refresh our memories about some of the stories, the ghosts, and indeed, more of the witnesses who've seen, heard, and felt things at the ancient Ram Inn. Well, we've now come upstairs here in the ancient Ram Inn to what is purported to be the most haunted room in the house. 8 people who stayed in this room have apparently had to be exorcised afterwards. There are no less than 4 separate entities in this room. Also waiting for us in this room is the owner, John Humphreys. So, if we dare, let's go in and find out about the incubus, among other things. Here we go.
Let's get this absolutely straight, OK? There's some ghosts in there, but also waiting for us is the owner. So, do we dare go in? Have a look.
Oh, hi. Hello. Now, this is the most haunted room in the ancient Ram Inn.
Obviously real hair. There you go. Beautifully fitted suit. And he's about to tell us about the terrible things that go on in this room.
Tell us about the 4 entities that are in this room.
Where you're stood, there's a monk appears here, walks up and down in front of the fireplace, walks to the wall over there where there's a blocked-up priest hole. Over here, a cavalier appears and walks across the room.
Right.
I can't help thinking that both the monk and the cavalier could well be you dressed up.
Also, a lady who was strangled.
I can't help thinking that the lady who was strangled is actually you dressed up.
A shepherd and his dog
Right.
appear in here, and in this bed is where...
I have no desire at all to know what happens in this bed with the shepherd, the dog, the cavalier, the strangled lady and the monk. All right? So this is the owner. Here's somebody else saying what happened to him.
Another witness who's experienced some very strange things in this house is Nick, who's with me now. Nick, what have you seen or heard here?
Well, I was in the kitchen with John, that's the owner.
Right, we've already met John, the owner. And he was in the kitchen with him.
And, well, I'd only known him about 2 months, and he was talking about ghosts.
He's only known him 8 weeks. He's gone up to his house and they're sitting in the kitchen talking about ghoulies and the like.
And all of a sudden, it was like this real strong presence come down on us. It's like I was trapped, basically, and I was sat in my seat. And John's hair was all stood up on end. And radio and...
Oh, come on. The serious thing, John's hair was all stuck up on end, all right? A little bit of static electricity, I think, coming into play there.
I mean, the radio in there, that's the room next to it, it was going up and down. It was turning itself up and down for about 5 minutes. And it just kept going on like that. And I'd come outside to grab some air.
So, you'd been in there, you'd felt this presence holding you down while you were in the kitchen with it, and you tried to get outside, had you, to clear your throat?
It just wouldn't have none of it, like, it'd come back again. Like something trying to get inside my body.
I'll tell you what I've got for you. I've got another programme that I made, right? Where are we? Here we go. This is a programme where I set this up, right? I said, why don't we go out and film live at hospitals? Because, you know, they make hospital dramas. But what about a real hospital? Never mind Casualty, right? Never mind ER, right? Although I thought that was a programme about people giving people things, right? This is... let's get out there and film live. Let's get to the cutting edge and see what actually happens in hospitals. And I got my very, very good friend, diminutive but nonetheless talented Alistair, to present it for me, and I think we came up with a bit of a winner, sort of.
If you were with us earlier this evening, you'll know our teams are spending tonight in the different accident and emergency departments at the start of this bank holiday weekend. First, we go to Manchester and join reporter Anya Sitaram.
Well, just one little point here about Alice's fantastic ability in this particular game. He now turns away and just waits, because it's live, and just waits, turns away like that, and he's waiting for the report to come up. There is a moment when you think, come on, hurry up. But with that, it's hardly noticeable, ladies, hardly noticeable.
Sitaram.
I've been here in the casualty department of the Manchester...
To his credit, you have to be remarkably sharp-eyed, but it's definitely there, the little moment of, come on.
Sitaram.
I've been here in the casualty department of the Manchester... Things have been pretty routine. Over 135 people have been treated here today. In the last hour, they've admitted a road accident victim, a man who was assaulted, and a child with a head injury. Here are just some of the other emergencies they've had to deal with today.
I'm just going to pause at this point, in case there's anybody watching, any of the younger people, any older people, anyone more sensitive. We were at a real accident and emergency unit. These aren't set up. This isn't false blood. I don't know what they use. It always looks like Ribena to me. This is the real thing that you're going to see, OK? So if you're a bit queasy at all, but this is what the doctors and nurses at the cutting edge of medicine have to deal with.
5-year-old James Stone fell over earlier today on glass. Nothing's broken, but he's being x-rayed to see if glass is inside his wound. Lisa Byron broke her wrist 2 days ago, and she's having her plaster put on again because the original was hurting her. Luckily, James hasn't got any glass in his wound. After a couple of stitches, he'll be allowed to go home.
£2.5 million we spent setting up a live link to a hospital that had a kid having a new plaster put on an old injury and a boy who, everyone happy to say, didn't have any glass in his wound and could go home.
Joining me now is the consultant in charge of accident and emergency, Rosemary Morton. Dr. Morton, unusually quiet.
A really quiet day, the quietest day that we've had for weeks.
Well, thank you very much. We're so glad. We'd hate to have come down here with our cameras and you'd have had people dripping all over the place. God's sake. And then the reporter